And a lot of times, though, a lot of people get caught up with being able to differentiate, right, or separate a person's personal proclivities from their profession. You see what I'm saying? And in the course of, not having the ability to discern between the two, it fogs your perception when you're looking at an individual. Because now, if you don't see an individual inside the mold upon which is casted upon him from your point of view, because remember, once a person declares him or herself to be something or somebody, you're going to hold them to that expectation of what that something or somebody is supposed to be or what they are supposed to fit into, right? And the moment that they don't fit into this cookie cutter image that you already, you know what I'm saying, envision within your own mind, that person is not who or he, you know what I mean, who he or she professes to be. And that's not true. You see what I'm saying? Because you can have a dude, man, like I'm going to show you, right? The Edgar Hoover dude, right? Years ago, the Edgar Hoover nigga, he was the mastermind behind the FBI. What we see and call the FBI today came from a dude named Edgar Hoover, because FBI was called BOSS before it was called the FBI. It was called BOSS, Bureau of Secret Services or something like that, man. But it wasn't the FBI. It was under Hoover that it was changed to the FBI. You understand what I'm saying? And this dude was a genius, man. He was a racist. He was a bigot. He was a bunch of those things. But at the same time, he also was a genius. You understand what I'm saying? Because he created a system, man. You know what I mean? A domestic police force, man. You know what I mean? That spies on and keeps watch on everything. That's how come when people be getting caught up in a frenzy about, Trump putting people here and he putting people there and it's a loyalist here and it's a loyalist there. I can understand that angle and that point of view, but the system itself is created in a way where they just won't allow, one dude to just come out and just... The FBI got some might, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? That shit been around for a long time. You understand what I'm saying? But the dude, J. Edgar Hoover, the mastermind behind it, he himself was a cross-dresser. The nigga used to wear panties and shit on his head. I'm not saying that that's cool or, you know what I mean, that's the thing for somebody who has that ability to lead should do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that his personal proclivities, you see what I'm saying, really had nothing to do with his professionalism. Because the personal proclivities didn't overshadow the professionalism, because if you never did any reading about J. Edgar Hoover or didn't hear what I just now imparted, you would not have an idea that this dude used to do things like that. But this is the truth. You understand saying whatever people do behind closed doors in their personal lives, that's going to always be their business. It's unfortunate that we have something called the court of public opinion. And the court of public opinion going to always bring somebody to bear and say, aha, you did this. You understand saying? But it's the time now. You understand saying where people need to start speaking to that. You know what I mean? Control your narrative. You understand saying? Because it's always a backstory to whatever it is people think it is. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again. It's always a backstory to whatever it is people think it is. You understand what I'm saying? Don't allow, someone's personal proclivities to overshadow their senses of professionalism, because if they're able to come in and get the job done, and that's all you should be concerned about. You shouldn't be worrying about who he or she screwing behind closed doors. You understand what I'm saying? Or what they may have came from. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I mean? What they been... We all been through something, and we all came from some place. Let's be clear. We've all been through something, and we've all come from some place. You understand what I'm saying? So, let's heed the wisdom, and those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. You understand what I'm saying? Because a person's personal proclivity is his personal shit, man. You know what I mean? Even when I was in prison, and dudes used to get caught up into, yo, man, son fucking with them boys. Really, I really don't care if the nigga fucking with them boys or not. I ain't never fuck with them boys. And the reason why I don't care if he fuck with them boys or not, because my thing is this. For me to be thinking about if he fucking with them boys or not, that mean I gotta be thinking about him and that man having a sexual engagement. You see what I'm saying? So what kind of heterosexual am I to be sitting here envisioning two men having sex with each other? That ain't even my fucking business, homie. You understand saying? Whether a dude is a homosexual or not has nothing to do with me. I don't fuck with him. You understand saying? But I don't have nothing disrespectful to say about him. I don't have nothing cross to think about him. That's how he get down. He being respectful enough to keep that shit over there. And even when they not. One time me and Shimmy was out and the moot nigga came up to me one night. Oh, it's him, it's him. I turned around. What? He like, oh no, I'm sorry. Oh my God, nigga got all, remorseful and shit. Yo, running behind you because the way you dressed and the way you, there's nothing wrong with accepting the compliment. I know I'm not no homosexual. I laughed at boy and said, nah, man, I ain't him, kid. You know what I mean? And it is what it was. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing, even if a dude is into that, don't nobody say nothing. When women do it all the time. And this ain't no justification to you niggas that's gay or on the down low line and niggas telling y'all niggas that, telling other people that y'all not gay, because this is not for y'all. This part is not for y'all. This is not for y'all. You understand saying? I'm talking about, niggas who are secure inside their own masculinity. You understand saying? When you secure your own masculinity, you could tell another nigga, yo, homie, that blazer right there you got on is sharp. You understand saying? Or you could take a compliment like the other day. I'm coming through the Ville, man. The little young boss has seen me and was like, yo, OG, you killed that with the beef and broccolis, man. Yo, homie, I accepted that. I don't think them little niggas is any kind of way. You understand what I'm saying? Because our personal proclivities are personal proclivities. It's no more different than a woman who takes on a philosophy that if she likes to wear revealing and provocative clothing, it doesn't mean or represent that she's a whore. You understand saying? And I get that. You understand saying? Just because she might like to wear provocative and revealing clothing, that don't mean you got the green light to go touch her. Or that don't give you the green light to say something cross about her or to her. You understand saying? Because that's just her self-representation. She want to be free in that way. She want to be expressive in that way. You don't know what a person got going on in their mind when they dress that way. But it doesn't or shouldn't necessarily attach them to being a whore. You understand? We got to get out of this stuff that we into in this society with just judging things on the surface. You see what I'm saying? Because it's more than what meets the eye. Let me give it to you like that. Since y'all like, sensationalism, Star Wars and shit like that is more than meets the eye. What was that? G.I. Joe or what the fuck? One of them cartoons used to say, but it's more what meets the eye. You can't just hold the person to that, man. Yeah, people write about and speak about things that they were personally affected by. I get that. You understand what I'm saying? But even in that, we are more than that. Even in that, we are more than that. You understand what I'm saying? It's just despicable how we sit and, we judge each other and we point the finger at each other as if we're supposed to be all held up to perfection. And then look at our commander-in-chief. This dude is far from being, an example of what perfection should be. Tenacious might be one. You got to give him that. But when I was a kid, it was indoctrinated to me. The best in the land was the one who's sitting inside the Oval Office. You understand? We can't even give that example today to our children. You understand what I'm saying? So let's be, a little bit more circumspect and a little bit more tacit before we leap into judgment. You understand what I'm saying? Because a personal proclivity should have nothing to do with their abilities and their sense of professionalism. If a motherfucker like to wear panties on his head, but he could jump in the motherfucking bus 7 or fucking 3 that next day and get everybody there safe and back, that's all that matters. What he doing in his personal life is you being fucking nosy. Stop being fucking nosy like that. You understand what I'm talking about? Because I'm going to call a spade a spade. In Islam, man, it's a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, do you want to look through the peephole of your brother's door and he poke inside and hit your eye with a pin? You know what I'm saying? Because you would deserve that. Suppose he was cleaning out his lock with a long pin and you over there being nosy. No intention behind it and boop! That's what you get. Stop being nosy. Live your life and let others live theirs. They ain't breaking the law. They not hurting nobody. Let them live, homie. You understand? Saying, who are we to sit up there with a big gavel and pass judgment as if when it's our time, we ain't going to be judged for something? Come on, man. Stop with the hypocrisy, man. You understand?